Hello, Mr. Neal's class. It's Caleb once again, and today we're going to be talking about parallel circuits. In front of me, I have a circuit laid out in a parallel configuration. I have two small light bulbs right here, and I have a power supply. Now, as I stated earlier, this represents batteries. This provides electrical power in the same way that batteries provide electrical power. This switch right here, when flipped, will turn on the power through this circuit. I want you to pause the video for a minute and hypothesize what's going to happen to this circuit when I flip this switch. So pause the video, take as much time as necessary, think about what's going to happen. And now that you've made your hypotheses, hopefully, I'm going to flip the switch, and we can see that both of these light bulbs light up. So we have electrical power flowing through this circuit, and we actually really have two circuits contained in one here. We have one circuit that goes through here, if you follow the wires in that direction, and we have another circuit that flows through this bulb here. So we really have two circuits contained in this one parallel circuit configuration. Now, once again, I want you to make a hypothesis of what's going to happen when I disconnect this light bulb from the circuit. So I'm going to disconnect it, and I want you to hypothesize what's going to happen to the circuit as a whole. So pause the video, take a minute, as much time as you need. And now that you've made your hypotheses, we're going to unhook this bulb, and you see that nothing happens. This bulb is still lit. This bulb is not lit, as it should be, because no more power is flowing through it, but this bulb is completely untouched. So this is one of the characteristics of a parallel circuit. If one bulb in the circuit goes out, the other bulbs can still function normally. The circuit's flow is not dependent on the components in the circuit. All right, that's all for today. So we talked about parallel circuit.
Series.
Now we're going to move on, and we're going to talk about series circuits. Unhook this. All right, so series circuits are a little bit different, but not too much different. So what I have here is a series circuit. I already have the power on, so you don't have to hypothesize what's going to happen. But this, as you see, is in a parallel circuit. We had two circuits. We had two essentially loops that we could trace, right? In this one, we only have one. So if we trace it, it goes through this bulb, and back here. So there's only one loop flowing here. Now, once again, I want you to pause the video and hypothesize what's going to happen if I remove this bulb from the circuit. So pause the video, take as much time as you need, make a hypothesis, and then restart the video. Okay, so now that you've made your hypothesis, I'm going to disconnect this light. We're going to see what happens. I disconnect it, and now what happens? Well, obviously this bulb is not lit like in the parallel circuit. But now notice that neither is this bulb. So one of the characteristics of a series circuit is that the operation of each component is dependent upon the operation of other components. So if one bulb in this circuit goes out, all of the bulbs in the circuit go out, because the circuit is no longer continuous. I cannot connect a continuous loop around. The loop is interrupted, it's halted here. So this is the characteristic of a series circuit. And some of you may have experience with series circuits and Christmas lights. Old Christmas lights were configured in a series configuration. So if one bulb in the Christmas light chain went out, the entire chain went out, and it was ineffective, and you had to find the one defective bulb. So this right here is a series circuit. So today we talked about parallel circuits first, moved on to series circuits, and the characteristics of those two circuits together. And the big takeaways here are parallel circuits function, each component functions independently of the rest of them. If one component goes out, or if one light goes out, the rest of them can still operate. Where in a series circuit, if one bulb goes out, all of the bulbs